But this was just a trick. As soon as Abu Ubaidah was behind him, he turned back and attacked them with his sword at full speed. But at the last second, Abu Ubaidah dodged him and hit him in the neck with his sword. Seeing this, Khalid bin Walid stood behind him and started chanting the name of Allah. And with him, the entire Muslim army started chanting the name of Allah. And with this, Khalid bin Walid ordered the Muslim army to attack the Roman Empire for the first time in 6 days. Abu Ubaidah stood in his place and the Muslims joined him from behind and attacked the Roman Empire. And the Muslim army came at full speed and collided with the Roman Empire. But after all this excitement and passion of the Muslims, the Roman Empire's army was so much more than the Muslims that the Muslims could not do much harm to them. And for a long time, the war continued like this and many Muslims started to die. And it started to look like this that Khalid bin Walid attacked them. He made a very big mistake because now it was impossible to go back from here. Even the Roman general Bahan was very happy to see this wrong strategy of Khalid bin Walid and started smiling when he saw the Muslims. But suddenly he saw that Khalid bin Walid was running at full speed on his horse alone on the right side of the Muslims. But he thought that what will this one person do to us alone? No one knew that Khalid bin Walid was running at full speed on his horse. And as Khalid bin Walid was crossing the Muslims, he reached near the mountain. Suddenly, out of nowhere, 8,000 horsemen from behind the mountain joined Khalid with full speed. And these 8,000 horsemen attacked the Roman Empire's army from the right side. Now no one knew about this. One night before the war, Khalid bin Walid sent these 8,000 horsemen behind this mountain. And he gave them orders that when you see me running at full speed on my horse, this is your signal to attack. These 8,000 horsemen quickly crushed the army of the Roman Empire. Seeing this, fear spread in the entire army of the Roman Empire. Because of this, the army of the Roman Empire gradually left the war and started running everywhere. And the Muslims started following them. This army ran at full speed from the war towards this bridge, which was the main way for them to run. But as soon as this army reached near the bridge, they saw that a division of the Muslim army was already standing here. And they too, one night before, Khalid bin Walid hid from this army and stood near the bridge behind it. This means that Khalid bin Walid's calculations were so powerful that he knew that I would win this war. But when the Romans will run after losing the war, I will not even let them run. And it is said that when Khalid bin Walid saw this scene, he closed his eyes for a while, and he thanked Allah for this great victory. And then he opened his eyes and asked first of all, where is the train? So he was told that the train has run away from here. So Khalid bin Walid also followed him at full speed. And in a short while, he caught him and killed him. This war is called the Battle of the Century, which changed the history of the world forever. Because before this war, people spoke Greek and Aramaic in Syria and all these areas. But after this war, if you look at it today, people here leave their languages and speak Arabic today. And this area, Sham, which used to be the center of Christianity in one era, is now completely Muslim. Now just imagine, when the news of this victory will reach the capital of the Muslims, Medina, how happy all the Muslims there will be. But at the same time, when the news of the defeat of this war reached the king of the Roman Empire, Hercules, he stood up for the last time in Antioch and looked at Sham and said, "O land of Sham, I salute you. You are one of the most beautiful lands in the world. But unfortunately, from now on, we will never be able to come back here again." And as soon as he said this, Hercules left Sham forever and went to his capital Istanbul. After this war, the Muslims got a free hand in Sham. That wherever they wanted to go, they could go. But instead of going to the capital of the Roman Empire, Turkey, all their troops, after a few days of this war, turned to another city, the city of the prophets, Jerusalem, which the Muslims had been waiting for a long time to conquer. That is why, after a few days of Yarmouk, the Muslim army went straight to Jerusalem from Yarmouk and surrounded this city from all sides. But all the problems of this caliphate of the Muslims did not end with Yarmouk. Because just 2 months after the war of Yarmouk, the second largest war of the history of Muslims was about to begin, which is called the Battle of Qadsiya. Subscribe.